I love color and I love a good challenge. Today it was my turn to come up with one vignette that works with two great wall colors. From over 1,500 Sherwin-Williams paint colors, our house and home editors chose 15 possibilities for us to try. The catch was that I had to spin a wheel to find out which two colors I had to work with. When I saw the wheel, there were definitely a few colors that I am familiar with working with, but I was excited to see which ones would end up being my colors. The first color I landed on was Tempe Star. When I initially saw the blue, I was pretty excited. I generally work with lighter shades of blue, but I thought it would be an interesting challenge to try. The second color I landed on was Rembrandt Ruby. I never work with red, and it really couldn't be more different than the blue. I was anxious to get these two colors up on the wall. I started with Tempe Star, and I loved how it was a little bit blue and a little bit gray at the same time. I chose the matte finish, but it also comes in satin, semi-gloss, and flat. I love a matte finish because it gives a little bit more of a modern twist on the color. I feel like I'm able to get this done really quickly. The coverage is amazing, especially for a dark color. I learned that this emerald interior acrylic latex paint is great because it's resistant to water streaking and spotting, it's washable, resistant to stains, and has a smooth finish. How perfect is that? I'm really liking the way this color's turning out. With one side down in no time, I was ready for the next color on the other side of the test wall. As I was working with the Rembrandt Ruby, I loved how it developed into this rich, rusty red. What's great is that usually with a red, you'd have to use a tinted primer, but with this, it's paint and primer in one, which is so easy. When I was finished this side of the wall, it was time for me to go out and pull all of the items for my vignette. The overall setup that I wanted to create was a dining room vignette. I found this rug that I thought would be perfect. It was white with a nice stripe. The table is nice and dark and has a slight industrial country feel to it. I introduced these chairs, which have a pretty classic shape, but in a really vibrant color. And for the end chair, I switched it up a little bit with an upholstered chair because I wanted it to be different from the other two chairs in the space. I love that the chairs have a natural wooden leg and the pattern on the fabric has a little bit of a mid-century modern vibe. I chose an oversized white pendant lamp because I thought the contrast between the white pendant lamp and the black table would be really graphic. When it comes to doing a tablescape, I really like styling up the space to make it seem realistic. And one important aspect is definitely to make sure you have different heights and materials on the table. When my look was complete, I absolutely loved how it looked with the Rembrandt Ruby color. The vibe of this space turned out to be really vibrant, but because of the setup, it also had a really sophisticated feel to it. Almost like a natural brick wall in the home, I think that this color would work really well as an accent color. There isn't anything too trendy about this look. There are classic shapes, natural elements, and layers of texture. I think some elements that pop in the space are definitely the black and white contrast against the red. I also think that the bright blue chairs absolutely make a contrast against the red, but in a beautiful way. What keeps this look fresh is definitely introducing lots of white and very light elements. For me, that came in the frame, the lovely pendant lamp, and all the dishes on the table. I thought it was a great idea that we decided to paint out the baseboard in the same color, because a white baseboard would be far too stark for the look I was after. Overall, this really works. Black, white, and red is a really classic combination. And it's perfect because, like they say, red in the dining room is great for your appetite. I was really excited to see how the Tempe Star would work with this setup. My initial reaction when I saw this vignette with the wall color was that it was really soothing. With this wall color, the vignette takes on much more of a contemporary feel. I love that this blue is really deep, but it also has a dusty gray tone to it. I think in this case, the white pendant really pops, but the black table slightly recedes. The bright blue chairs were somewhat toned down in this space because overall it's more of a monochromatic look. I love how the artwork kind of pops out a little bit more in this space because of the warmer tone. Other than a dining room, I think this color would work really well in a study. It's really cozy and easy to live with. Overall, I think that this dining room look is quite sleek. All of the blue tones really came together. I had a really good time during this challenge. It was great to work with two completely different colors, and I think the overall results were incredible. One look is really punchy and energetic because of all of the contrasting colors and shades. The other is more calm and serene because of the monochromatic, cool tones. It was fun that I got to work with one hot color and one cool color, but I think I really made it work. It's not every day that you get to paint one room two colors, so it was fun to be able to try this out and experiment. There are so many great paint colors out there to choose from, so it's really easy to make a huge impact with very little effort.